Okay, guys, I'm back. Part 3 of when I was a correction officer at DC Jail and also down Lorton back in the 90s. So this is a incident when one of the officers was attacked by an inmate, a female inmate, but the female, come to find out, she had a little mental issues. But instead of them housing her on the psych ward, they had her down with the regular open population, which was in South One. So to get started, I was I was in the bathroom, which is in the Sally Port in the hallway on South One, and Kim was getting ready to escort the young lady to the infirmary. So when I heard yelling while I was in the bathroom, because like I said, once you go through the Sally Port and you go through the gate, there's a bathroom right there for officers, because we did have a female, we had an office, like officer's dining room and an officer's bathroom. But to go there, I mean, it's crazy. So you go to the one that's right there in the hallway outside of the gate. So that's where I was. And I heard some noise going on. I heard some arguing back and forth. So I'm washing my hands. I'm getting ready. I step out of the bathroom. So I see Kim and the female inmate going back and forth arguing. So I'm outside of the gate waiting for the officer in charge to pop gate 1 so I can get in. So before she could pop gate 1, the inmate, I guess something clicked or whatever. I told you she was a little off anyway, come to find out. And she took and pushed Kim. Kim went back. And when she went back, she hit the wall. And so by this time, the officer in the bubble pop gate 1, which to let me in. So when I come in, I just grabbed the inmate and pulled her out of the way. And the first thing I did was I said, call the code blue. So they called the code blue, but I held the inmate, and then Kim, of course she, me and her, we restrained this inmate. And I ain't gonna get into detail of how we did it, because we did what we had to do. And back then, it was kill or be killed, get hurt or be hurt, or protect yourself. So that's what me and Kim did. So anyway, when they called the code blue and the soldiers they called back in the day came to, I think they did take her to the infirmary, but then they did an of course they had an evaluation and all that stuff. But the catcher was, when the officers, after they left, the lieutenant comes on the unit. So, of course, we have to file an incident report. So when we found the incident report, Kim was like, her and the inmate started arguing, and the girl pushing the wall. And me, Officer Whoop-de-Whoop, I jumped through and I grabbed the inmate to get her off Kim. Then Kim retaliated because, she was pissed off. So, of course, she's an officer, and anybody that know that been in jail, officers, most of the time, if you cool and y'all work together, y'all gonna stick together. Officers do stick together. That's true. Sometimes, but in this case, I had to do what I had to do to defend Kim, because at the end of the day, the inmate was wrong. You're never supposed to put your hand on an officer, period. So anyway, the lieutenant was like, okay, and back then, they had your back. Like, I don't know what, back then they just had your back. And the lieutenant was like, here, I need you to write this like this. You say this, and I'll do the rest, and y'all will be good. And we wrote the incident up. Me and Kim both, we went out on 45. Because when an officer get attacked, or or if it's any kind of altercation, you can go out on 45 and you get paid, full pay, full benefits, everything for 45 days. And then while you're out, if you feel as though you're not ready to come back because you still kind of traumatized or whatever the case may be, they'll give you another 45 days. So, and then you get paid for it. So you just getting paid for free, pretty much, because you really didn't get hurt. Because we really didn't get hurt. But I can say that now, but back then, nah, it was just, especially if you worked in a housing unit with a officer that y'all was real tight with, or y'all were good friends or something like that, you're going to automatically look out for that officer. And that's what it was. And with that incident, That was the end of that one. Now wait for part 4 when I tell y'all the next incident